Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, February 22nd, 2019. And we begin
Well, longtime KTVU viewers will recognize that voice. Yes, that's former Channel 2 anchor Tori Campbell, and she's part of a team of former KTVUers that have come together for a new podcast aimed at educating our youngest news consumers. And the mission, give us 5 minutes and we'll give your kids the world. So let's introduce you to the team behind this project. All of them have a deep background here and in news. We've got Stephanie Kelmar, who's the founder and editor. We also have Ro Thomas Schwartz, who is co-founder, editor-in-chief, and we've got Kim Hunter, who is editor and anchor, all in studio with us. We've got Tori coming up in just a little bit, and we'll talk to her. But welcome back to KTVU, guys.
Thank you.
So tell us about this, because when it comes to news, it's one of those things that I know every time we have young viewers, we're like, ooh, because we want them to be consumers. We want them to be a part of this. But why did you think it's so important to really kind of change the format to kind of speak to them? And Stephanie, let's start with you.
Well, I've loved the news, obviously. I worked in news for a million years, and I always would have the radio on in the car. We'd get a newspaper at home, and my kids, who are now 9 and 11, started getting interested in what they were hearing and seeing. And in the morning, I would look at the newspaper, and I'd be like, nope. Turn it over, because there were photographs and headlines that I just didn't think was appropriate for them. And so we started looking around for a newscast for kids, and we just didn't find one.
It wasn't there. And all of you guys are moms. Ro, tell me about when you produced the morning news. I mean, you started Mornings on 2 here. You created that. It's a different thing when you're creating for the audience. I mean, morning news has its own specific audience compared to night news. Has it been a hard transition to say, okay, now what, and which age group are you trying to reach?
Well, the age group is really about 6 to 13, and it is different. I mean, we're looking for stories that kids will be interested in, and their parents are fine and happy with them hearing. So we want them to have a smattering of everything, you know, politics, current events, sports, entertainment, everything. And we search high and low, and we find stories that we really think will resonate with the kids and they can talk to their friends about. And most importantly is that the parents never have to worry.
Yeah, and news is about a conversation, you know. And Kim, when you're doing this and you're talking and speaking to kids through these podcasts, how does it change in terms of how you want to deliver it? I mean, I feel like you kind of want to be cool, so they want to listen to you, and you want to make it really easy for them to digest.
Yeah, it's been definitely, there's been a learning curve for sure, coming from TV where you have the visual and you can use your hands and be animated, and in a podcast, it's all, they're just listening. It's all your delivery, and trying to come across in a way that's kid-friendly without being cheesy is definitely a challenge, but we're working on it, and Tori and I are getting there, and we have our little in-home studios, so it's all a big learning curve, but it's a lot of fun.
And the in-home studio is important because Tori Campbell is in Singapore, right? And Tori joins us now. Hey, Tori, seeing the magic of technology. Look, waving to the whole team. We're bringing you all together. Tori, how's it been for you on this new project and really being a part of getting back into news, although it feels like you've always never left us?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been almost 4 years since I left KTVU, and I was looking for something to do that was still in the news, but a lot more flexible. I did some voiceover work for a little while, but I love doing this podcast with 3 of my amazing colleagues. And the beauty of being able to do it here in Singapore, I mean, all you need is your laptop, a microphone, and some, earphones, and you can record it anywhere. The video that you just saw is from the bomb shelter here in our apartment, but I've been able to travel all around the world and do the recordings from anywhere, as long as I can communicate with my team via email and Skype and texting.
Yeah, you guys have gotten a lot of accolades, Parents Magazine. I've seen, testimonials from local school districts saying, hey, this is great for us. What do you think the biggest challenge, and Tori, I'll start with you one more time, about, trying to make sure that what you're getting accomplishes the goal? Because what you're putting into these podcasts as well, in terms of content, 5 minutes and we'll give you the world is a difficult thing to do. 5 minutes in TV is not very long.
It is. I mean, fortunately, like I said, we've got a great team. I mean, Rosemary does an amazing job of culling through hundreds of different sources to find literally 5 or 6 news stories a day. And we usually err on the side of caution, because you can't, put a story out there and say, oh, gosh, maybe that was a little too much for kids. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So we mainly try to focus on just a variety of stories that are in.
Okay, and Well, I think we just lost Tori a little bit. What she was talking about was trying to cull through the stories and saying how you spent a lot of time trying to figure out how do you figure out where to hit the note with these kids. I took the quiz. There's a quiz we should tell people on your website.
How'd you do?
It is for the... Well, I did okay. You know, but it is interesting because it's different. You're talking about, you know, football issues and sports, and you're talking about things that really affect their world, right?
That's our goal, is to hit things that will resonate with them, and we find these stories that they can talk to their friends about. That's really what it is. But the key is that they're timely, just like a newscast. It's today's news, it's yesterday's news, it's tomorrow's news, and very current, very relevant for them.
Stephanie, any subjects you don't touch that you guys have all agreed that you say, you know what, we're not going to go there?
Well, we talk about politics, but we're nonpartisan. We don't talk about things that are going to scare kids. We don't talk a lot about, we don't do death and dying. Excuse me. Excuse me. We talk about stuff that they can share with their kids, things that they can talk to their parents about. We're trying to educate them about a wider world in a way that's not going to scare them.
And Kim, you guys have the best feedback because you guys all have kids yourself.
Yeah.
And what is the biggest feedback that you get from saying this is what I want to know, this is what I didn't know?
I think it's different based on who you're talking to. If you're talking to the parents, they like certain stories. Like my 12-year-old loves the Fortnite stories.
Oh,
anything
Fortnite.
about video games. Sometimes the parents are like, can you do fewer Fortnite stories? You know, they don't want them to be addicted, but. Yeah, I think the variety is great. I think the quiz is great. We have a little piece at the end called One for the Road, which is sometimes it's trivia, sometimes it's a deeper dive into an earlier story. And we get great feedback on that because kids are honing their listening skills because they really pay attention during the podcast so they can get those quiz questions
That's
right.
awesome. And Tori, I know we got you back and we're a little bit out of time, but have you gotten feedback from folks here in the Bay Area who are like, Tori, I get to hear you again, and what a treat to have the next generation of news consumers listening.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really very gratifying that, you know, people are still listening. I still have my KTVU Tori Campbell Facebook page, and I let everyone know about KidNuz there. And it's really nice to be able to get the positive feedback. Literally, we haven't heard anything negative. People really seem to like it. Both kids, as Kim mentioned, you know, kids love the quiz. I have a friend who is a teacher up in the Sacramento area. She shot me a video of the kids, and they're literally sitting on the edge of their seats, listening to the quiz, and they shout out the answer, and then they're really quiet to hear the next question. So it's really gratifying to still be involved in the news, but in kind of a little more flexible way. I don't have to get up so early in the morning and worry about all the hair and makeup.
Well, you look fabulous. It was great to see all of you guys, and I can speak from experience, like, this is an incredible group of journalists, and to have you guys come together, I can't imagine anything not being fantastic and successful. So I will be listening so I can do just maybe a smidge better on this quiz. And it was great talking to you, Tori, and yeah, maybe parents should have a little competition with their children to see who does better. All right, and we'll put some links on our website as well to help everyone find the podcast, which is the fastest growing segment of this, and everyone should be listening.